I love imaginary stories, beautiful stories that come from creative ideas. But I think sometimes even more beautiful is a story, a true story of courage and the message one person's life can make such a big difference. This book is a Schneider Family Book Award book, Emmanuel's Dream, the true story of Emmanuel Ofosu Yeboah. What is the message? By Lori Ann Thompson and illustrated by Sean Squalls. In Ghana, West Africa, a baby was born. 2 bright eyes blinked in the light. 2 healthy lungs let out a powerful cry. 2 tiny fists opened and closed, but only 1 strong leg kicked. Most people thought he would be useless, or worse, a curse. His father left, never to return. But his mother had faith. Her name was Comfort, and she named her first child Emmanuel, meaning God is with us. It's amazing how circumstances in life, whether they're good or they're bad, really bring out the things that are in our hearts. As Emmanuel grew, Mama Comfort told him he could have anything, but he would have to get it for himself. He learned to crawl and hop, to fetch water and climb coconut trees. He even shined shoes to earn money. I think this story is as much about Emmanuel as it is about his mother Comfort. Most kids with disabilities couldn't go to school. Still, Emmanuel's mother carried him there until one day she said, "You're too heavy." What does it look like when someone loves you? How do you know? From then on, Emmanuel hopped to school and back, 2 miles each way, on 1 leg, all by himself. Let's start making a list of Emmanuel's characteristics. At first, nobody would play with him, so Emmanuel saved his money and bought something none of his classmates had, a brand new soccer ball. Of course, he would share it, if he could play too. Lunging and spinning on crutches, his grandmother had found for him, and kicking the ball with his good left foot, Emmanuel earned their respect. I want you to think about the solution to this problem that Emmanuel had when none of the classmates would play with him. His new friends sometimes used their lunch money to rent bikes. Would Emmanuel be able to join them? His friend Godwin pushed him fast so he could balance. Over and over again, Emmanuel fell hard. But finally, he rode. What is a verb that you would use to describe this young man? Or or you could use a noun. When Emmanuel was 13, Mama Comfort got very sick. She could no longer sell vegetables at the market, and Emmanuel's sister and brother were too little to work. This page, the text and illustrations, are foreshadowing something to come. And if we know anything about Emmanuel's character so far, we can make some pretty good predictions about what will happen next. He would have to support them. Against his mother's wishes, Emmanuel snuck out and boarded a midnight train to the bustling city of Accra, 150 miles away, alone. He didn't know it then, but it would be 2 years before he saw his family again. Why? Why does he have so much courage? Emmanuel arrived full of hope. There were so many people, but no one would hire him. Shopkeepers and restaurant owners told him to go out and beg, like other disabled people did. Emmanuel refused. Finally, a food stand owner offered him a job and a place to live. Once again, we see another example of his actions based on something in his heart. When Emmanuel wasn't serving drinks, he kept busy shining shoes. He earned money and sent it home. One morning when Emmanuel went to buy shoe shining supplies, the shopkeeper thought he was there to beg and scolded him. Insulted, Emmanuel slammed his money down on the counter. The shopkeeper apologized, but Emmanuel would never forget. What was the shopkeeper's assumption about Emmanuel that simply wasn't true? When Mama Comfort grew sicker, Emmanuel went home to be with her. From her bed on Christmas Eve, she told her son, "Be respectful, take care of your family, don't ever beg, and don't give up." By the next morning, Emmanuel's beloved mother was dead. He was heartbroken, but he knew her last words had been a gift. He would honor them by showing everyone that being disabled does not mean being unable. It was a big dream, but Emmanuel had a plan. What is Emmanuel's greatest gift? Emmanuel had a sharp mind and a bold heart and one strong leg. All he needed was a bike. At first, no one would help. They thought his plan to bicycle around Ghana was impossible. Then Emmanuel wrote to the Challenged Athletes Foundation all the way in San Diego, California. They sent him a bike, plus a helmet, shorts, socks, and gloves. Once again, a word pops into my head to describe Emmanuel. Emmanuel started training for the long ride. He persuaded the king of his region to give him a royal blessing. Persuaded. I wonder how good Emmanuel was at persuading people. It looks like he's begging, but he's not. He's persuading, isn't he? He went door to door asking for additional support. Finally, he hired a taxi to follow him with drinking water, a camera, and his best friends. Then Emmanuel tied his right leg to the bike's frame, jammed his left foot into a flip-flop attached to the pedal, and rode. is he doing? Emmanuel pedaled through the bustling city of Accra. He pedaled through rainforests, over rolling hills, and across wide, muddy rivers. He pedaled past ogham forests and plantain farms, and through the market of Kumasi. He pedaled as trucks roared past on narrow highways, and wild animals stalked his thoughts. Wild animals stalked his thoughts. Wow. That describes something going on in his mind. He pedaled through vast green lands and into the ancient city of Tomal. He rode up, down, across, and around his country. Wow, those are some adverbs. Proudly wearing the colors of its flag, on a shirt printed with the words, the Pozo, or the disabled person. He's starting a movement, isn't he? To make a change. Bring awareness so people will look at disabled people differently. Actually, he doesn't seem disabled at all, not to me. Along the way, Emmanuel talked to those with physical challenges and those without, to poor farm workers and wealthy landowners, to religious leaders, government officials, and reporters. He wanted everyone to see him and his disability. He wanted everyone to hear him and his message. What are the illustrations describing? The farther Emmanuel rode, the more attention he got. Children cheered. Able-bodied adults ran or rode along with him. People with disabilities left their homes and came outside, some for the very first time. The young man once thought of as cursed was becoming a national hero. Look at the effect right here in this illustration of his actions. He completed his astounding journey, pedaling south to the sea and back up to Accra, nearly 400 miles in just 10 days. But Emmanuel's success goes even further than that. He proved that one leg is enough to do great things, and one person is enough to change the world. Wow, what is the message in this story? What is the theme? In this world, we are not perfect. We can only do our best. That is a quote. See, it's in quotations. That is a quote from Emmanuel Ofosu Yeboah. This is the author's note. Emmanuel still isn't giving up. Since completing his first long-distance bike ride across Ghana in 2001 at the age of 24, he has competed in major athletic events, won international awards from Nike and ESPN, and carried the Olympic torch in Cairo, Egypt in 2004. He starred in a documentary about his life called Emmanuel's Gift, and he appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show. In 2006, thanks in large part to Emmanuel's bike ride and his continued political activism, the Ghanaian Parliament passed the Persons with Disability Act, which states that people with physical disabilities are entitled to all the same rights as the rest of the country's citizens. I am very happy for my disabled brothers and sisters in Ghana. Ghana's in Africa, said Emmanuel, but this is just the beginning. Today, Emmanuel continues to work on behalf of the disabled. He maintains a scholarship fund to help children with disabilities attend school, and he helps organizations distribute wheelchairs to those in need. In addition, he works closely with Ghana's government to pass laws protecting the rights of disabled citizens, and he speaks to political leaders, independent organizations, and school children around the world to deliver the message that disability does not mean inability. To find out more about Emmanuel and his activities, including the progress of the school he is building for children with and without disabilities, please visit the Emmanuel Educational Foundation and Sports Academy, EEFSA, website on emmanuelsdream.org. I'm going to post that for you so you can check it out.